So Enid's date, the Norman kid, and his friends pulled the Carrie. Except that they don't use pig's blood, they use paint. What do you think that accomplished? What do you think that scene meant? And why did the director and writers want that particular Carrie movie to be what ends up being the prank? Why did they choose that other than another horror show?
I don't really remember the Carrie movie too much. I mean, obviously, I know
Oh,
she was a teenager and she was in a high school, and I think she had like some kind of powers or something evil about her or something. And
telekinesis.
okay, yeah, I knew it was some kind of power. Okay, and so assuming she was kind of an outcast in that school. Um, and so I mean, I guess there.
Understatement.
Okay. So I mean, there's that parallel there. So I mean, I could see why they would use that the sprinklers and the blood. Um, but like I said, I don't really remember the film as much, so I'm sure you have a better explanation of why.
I think that they chose that movie because it's about a girl who's an outcast and she has powers, but then she's misunderstood, and so it's paralleling what Wednesday's going through, and then maybe like, of course, Carrie is like about a girl who's like pretty passive. She doesn't like for most of the movie. She just lets people bully her, and she doesn't really get the upper hand at all, or until the very end. And so it's like all this rage has been built up, and she unleashes it on the students in the school because they're all laughing at her when the paint falls down off of the bucket onto her head when she's been announced prom queen, which she thought was a genuine thing, but it was actually the students making fun of her. And that's why
Mm.
she ended up as prom queen. So when the blood comes down, ruins her dress and everything, and everybody's laughing at her, that's when she goes ballistic and and tries to kill everybody, lock them in there and with it, and start fires and things like that. Um, so I think that obviously Wednesday's not going to do that, but it's like kind of like playing on this whole idea, like how far can you take being a bully? How far can you take it before you also get bullied? And what's the cost of it? And also like what's going on in your own psyche that leads you to hurt other people and not understand the consequences or understand that the other person just has much right to live their own life in their own way as you do. And then also uh, that, what is considered too much? Uh, and, is violence really the answer? Because look what had happened to these kids. They use violence, and all these kids are, sliding into the paint. Their outfits are ruined.
Mhm.
This is what they're going to remember rather than the fun time before that at the dance. So that's going to like damage them in some way. That's the cost of what these kids did this prank. And then all these kids at Nevermore have all these powers. So did the normies not understand that they might also well, I'm gonna retaliate. You did this to me, so I'm gonna do this to you. So I
Yeah.
think the fallout of that is like I don't think the normie kids understand that because they're just like angry in the moment and like let's go do this. It'll be fun. They're not understanding that they're going to be a target on their back now, and that rule about the Nevermore kids never going to town. I don't know if that's not going to stick anymore. So I think it's like foreshadowing what may happen in future seasons and in the series.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and honestly, that would be pretty cool. I mean, it definitely seems like that's the direction that the show will be going is the blending of the town and Nevermore is going to happen more often, and the relationships are going to grow in a good way and in a bad way. Because like they said, they have their first normie teacher there, and other people will end up being there or vice versa as the show goes on. So yeah, I definitely can see that happening in the future of the series. Uh, them being more involved in having more situations between the two communities,
Yeah.
more encounters.
Right. I also just want to, before we only have one more question. So I also like the moments they have with Wednesday, like letting her guard down, like when she's talking to Bianca about how like her high heels are like hurting her feet, and like, just like how do people do this? And Bianca softens up because she realizes Wednesday's human and not just this horrible mean person that's good at everything and took her boyfriend from her. So I like those moments. Um, those that makes me feel like there's hope for Wednesday, and I think that's what the writer and director are hoping that we latch on to, because I'm sure there's going to be more danger that Wednesday is going to be in and probably cause. So Wednesday has a vision of Eugene who's in trouble because he went out to the cave by himself. How, like, what do you think about, like, so this is right after the dance. Um, what do you think would have made that scene better, or like shed more light into why the monster is attacking Eugene?
I mean, only other thing I could think, but I'm pretty sure that's not it, is if the monster was trying to hurt Wednesday, basically, because she has that bond with Eugene.
Yeah, so my thoughts are on that is like I think the monster, like, he has some ability to know who the people in the town are. Um, and which we will talk about later about why that is. But that's in future episodes. Uh, I think he feels like if I get Eugene out of the way, she won't have any help. I think that's what they're trying to go for. It didn't really come across like that, but I don't think that the monster, like, there'd be other, like, why didn't he attack Enid when they were in that house? I don't know if that's this episode or the next one, but like
No.
it doesn't attack people that help Wednesday all that often. So I think that for you, I think Eugene, because he's so willing to help her and do whatever she asks, he's more of a threat to Monster than all her other friends.
Well, just I guess because of the order of events, um, and they possibly the director was trying to have something else come across, but on like I said, with how things take place and what I saw, it seems like he was purely attacked because he was a threat to exposing the monster. Because he goes to the cave, and that's where he witnesses a person there setting the cave on fire, and the person shines their flashlight on him, and he just takes off running, and then moments later he's attacked. So I mean, just because of how things played out, it just seemed like he was a threat to either the discovery of the monster or something to do with the monster, so the monster attacked him.
Okay, it could be just straightforward of like, I want to kill you so you don't expose me as a monster. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, do you have any final thoughts or anything about the episode that you want to talk about?
Again, I thought this episode was really important because we got to see more of a human side of Wednesday. We got to finally see her let loose and just have some fun. We also got to see, like we were saying, a little more on who Bianca really is and what she's dealing with, you know, with the whole situation with Xavier, but on a personal level, how she explains to Wednesday, you know, not being able to really tell people's true feelings and because of her powers, and so she's almost feels like she's trapped in a world where she never knows what's real when it comes to, you know, how people feel, you know, about her or anything, and how she admired what she thought she admired Wednesday for is her not caring what anyone thinks, but not knowing until Wednesday exposed to her like she wished she did care. So that was nice to hear Wednesday say that as well. That's why that moment was so important in that episode, is because we got to finally see that Wednesday, hard exterior and all, she does have a heart inside, and but she's just searching to I guess, discover it. It's that's what it feels like more than anything. Is she doesn't know how to deal with feelings, those types of feelings, because she shut them off ever since her scorpion died. So she doesn't really know how to deal with these, feelings of like love and for certain emotions, dealing with that. So it was good to get that out of Wednesday's character, because now we know that she can grow from where she started, and then also to get that from Bianca, because like I said, it felt like they were burying the hatchet with that conversation. So now it's like, okay, it's probably not going to be a rivalry between these two anymore, because Bianca understands where she's at with Xavier, which is nowhere, and she also understands Wednesday more, so she doesn't have to hate her anymore. You're not just some girl that, like you said, stole my boyfriend. It's like you're a human being, and you're hurting too. And you don't really express your feelings. Everyone knows Wednesday doesn't express her feelings, and for her to give Bianca that much truth about herself, that was really cool. So that's why I think their bond is really gonna grow.
Okay. So yeah, I also like this episode. I liked it because it was not quite so intense like the other episodes. It's not following Wednesday as she discovers clues all the time, and all the danger that she gets in, and what happens to the Nevermore kids. So I think it was good to just have a break from that and see her dancing and having a good time. And I also think it's good that some of the supporting characters are like gaining more independence, like Eugene, and doing things on their own. Even though, it wasn't the best decision to go out all by himself because, he got attacked. It's still showing that they have, enough self-worth and enough ability to do things on their own where they can. So that might be beneficial down the line, where Wednesday can not just have visions to see what's happening, she can send out people to find out more information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked that we got to see more like what's going on with the monster, like finding out more clues about him. I think that was a good part of the story. So okay, I think we should just wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna next week talk about the 5th episode of Wednesday. So stay tuned for that, and of course, go ahead and leave comments. Let us know what else you wanted to talk about in episode 5 for next week. Let us know what you liked, and then hopefully someday down the road you're going to check out our other social media sites like TikTok and Instagram, where we're going to have stills and short videos on that. We always would welcome subscribers to all our YouTube channels, which we will link everything in our script notes in our YouTube show. So thank you all for listening to us yak about the Wednesday show and all the characters and all the crazy stuff that goes on in it. And we do appreciate you tuning in and sitting down with us. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the episode today, and let us know what you guys think. Is Xavier the better one? Is Tyler the better one? Is it, do you think Bianca and Wednesday could become best friends? What do you think about Enid and Ajax? We just want to know what you think about the different characters, and if things could have been a different way, what way would you might have had it go? If the situations were changed, or do you think that everything is just going out perfectly fine? Just give your opinions, and drop some comments, like, share, and thank you for your time and attention. Big thanks to everyone for tuning in, and please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Have a good day.